That's why social media is so prevalent. There are bands that fucking suck, but they're so popular because they have a great social media presence. Yeah. And we will never be that because we're so hyper focused on being good at music. And what we're hoping is that it pays off in the long run.
Oh, it will.
Yeah.
Green Day.
Yeah, exactly. We're hoping it pays off in the long run. It's not going to be like a short-term kind of thing, and that's fine. It's whatever. Because for now, just actually being good is a good enough, like, kicking our nuts for it.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I think tonight was pretty much just the great conglomeration of things, everything working together. It's like it's a V8 engine firing on all cylinders. You have this part working, you have that part working, and when you have all of it working, you get a fucking Ford humming at now 350 RPM, and man, that thing sounds good.
I agree that, like, that's the same thing that when he asked me that question, basically the same ideas, like, I mean, just to, and not even trying to, like, you know, I guess, for lack of better words, like, be cocky or anything, because, like, I'm definitely not a cocky person, but I think we handled ourselves pretty good for considering, like, this was a very big show.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely a little bit nervous about it, just because, you know, the new parts we got to work on, like, I didn't want to fuck up.
Work hard. Be somebody. Be something more than what you see in the mirror. Let the world be your mirror. Don't let them judge you, because the mirror can't judge you. You judge what you see in the mirror.
2, 3, 4.
Alright, so, like, how many close friends do you think you have? Or, like, best friends would you say you have?
Two.
And how do you think your life would be if you didn't have them? Even for, like, from whenever y'all first, like, when y'all first met, the impact when y'all first met, and, like, even to how they impact your life now.
I probably wouldn't be as social, and I wouldn't have grown to understand that having someone or people like that in your life can have so much weight, and it's important to have people like that in your life that care about you deeply and you care about them deeply, because y'all grew up together, y'all have experienced a lot of things together. If I didn't have all those memories, I mean, I might have just made them with somebody else, but if I didn't have that period, it's hard to say what type of life I would lead without that type of companionship and friendship. It's hard to say.
Yeah, would it be a stretch to say, like, to think, like, damn, I might not be alive right now without them?
It's not a stretch. It's just, it's a thought you don't want to have, considering you would think to yourself, I mean, if I didn't have this person or these people in my life, I wouldn't necessarily die and I wouldn't necessarily commit suicide. But who's to say that that's not actually the case? If you didn't have these people that you saw frequently throughout your childhood or throughout your teen years, your early adulthood, if you didn't see them, if you didn't have these people that you can go to telling information, sharing things with, experiencing things that they like, that you like together, I mean, would you be the same person? Would you be as happy? Would you be as content? Would you be as sad? Would you be depressed?
I feel like low-key, I mean, not saying that, like, I've, like, thought about having, like, committing suicide, or, like, you know, I've had, like, thoughts. I kind of feel like if I didn't have the people that I had in my life, I kind of feel like it wouldn't be crazy for me to do it.
It wouldn't be out of the blue.
Yeah, out of the blue.
I mean,
which is, like, so crazy, like, for me to say. Because it kind of, I feel like people would be, like, there's no way he would do it. I mean, there's no way that I would now.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's like, what, like the thought of what if has crossed my mind. And like how people would react, or how my closest friends would like be like, what the fuck?
Some people that do commit suicide, it's the ones you sometimes least expect. Like, an example that comes to mind is Chester Bennington, the vocalist of Linkin Park. He committed suicide, I think, last year, the year prior. I think it was last year. And people were shocked that he would do such a thing, because he was someone that would, I suppose, speak out to have people go for help, to search for help.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want anyone to go. He doesn't want any family members or anyone to find that to be the only option. He himself had depression, but through music, his family, his wife, his kids, and life in general, he was pulling through up until his untimely death, unfortunately. And growing up, I always think to myself, it was just because I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I was in a household where there was a lot of yelling, there was a lot of bad energy. And so, I mean, there were times when I thought, like, I kind of just don't want to be here. Like, what if I just, like, ended it all at, like, the age of, like, 6 or 7 years old? Like, what kid at that age is thinking about that? And I remember, still to this day, there was a time when I was in the kitchen with, like, a knife to my chest, like, thinking about it, like it would be so easy to just, like, impale myself.
Yeah.
And then just maybe then things would change in the household. And growing up in elementary, I was just thinking about it the other day. There was a girl, I'm not gonna say her last name, but her name was Alyssa, and we were having like a water park thing at Club Estates, and I remember I was wearing a white t-shirt, it got wet, and I remember she made a comment about like my body through the wet t-shirt. That's when I first got insecure about my body at 5th grade. What 5th grader is insecure about their body? You shouldn't be insecure about your body till middle school. But I mean, you know, we're going into middle school. During middle school, I was lonely. Like, I do not like my middle school years at all.
I remember you always saying that.
It's a tough time. And I found some people that I can still talk to this day through middle school. I have a friend named Trey. I met him through CCD. He happened to also go to Grant. I know you and I went to Grant, but we didn't really talk.
Yeah.
We didn't really start even becoming, like, acquaintances until, like, sophomore year.
So I feel like it was, like, after that. I remember my memory's, like, really shitty, but...
No, you're right. It wasn't... Yeah.
I feel like until we started Futures, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, like, kind of out of the blue.
Yeah, it's so crazy how this all lined up. Like, the most dramatic subject change, but, like, how you approached me with this question, and, like, I didn't really know, like, what you were about or, like, who you were. I just knew the name and who you were, but I didn't know anything more than that. And so to think that after all this time, we're still friends, and, like, I know you have closer friends that you tell a lot of things to. You tell me stuff, but, like, you talk to other people more frequently. You see more people more frequently. And it's not because you don't want to see me, you don't want to talk to me. It's just those are people that you can relate and talk to with more. But I know the bond that we have is still special. Like,
Yeah.
there might be something that we have here that you might not have with anyone else. I doubt it, but there's that possibility.
I mean, probably, because I feel like I just couldn't normally have this conversation. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
I mean,
It's just like,
sitting down with a friend and getting really, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Getting really deep and, I suppose, personal, for lack of better terms, about a subject that some people are uncomfortable talking about, or that don't want to talk about because it's so taboo sometimes, and you might be labeled something because you're talking about something that is regarded around death.
and I feel like my main thing, and like, I just don't want people to be scared to talk about it. And just like, even if like, or just like, so they have somebody to talk to. Even if like they don't know me, they don't know you. Well, I don't know how open you would be to like listening, but it's just like, damn, I don't mind listening.
It's being there for a complete stranger could literally be the turning point in someone's life. You could just become someone's savior.